Good morning. I am at the West Rancherias Trailhead in Big Bend Ranch State Park. I'm going to do the Rancherias Loop. Everything I see has a different number. This says 19 miles one way. I've seen 21 miles is the average, but it's actually closer to 24 or 25 because it starts with the road walk, about a 3-mile road walk. So I'm parked here at the West Trailhead, and I'm going to have to walk Highway 170 to the East Trailhead, where you really start. I'm going to do the East Trailhead today to this Casara, and there is a spring there. And according to the rangers, that spring is flowing, so I don't have to carry as much water because I can get water there. I'm going to move up on a little further today, and probably camp in here somewhere. If I make it a little further, I may camp in here, but planning on camping here. Finishing the East Trail tomorrow and getting on the Rancherias Jeep Road. So this will be a 4-wheel drive road here, all the way to here. The road keeps going up, and then you go back on the West Rancherias Trail right there. Come down here to Rancherias Spring, and the ranger said there's water there. And both of these reports from January 15th, so 10 days ago, there was water here. And so tomorrow I'll finish up, and then I'm planning on camping on this lower Gall Mesa anywhere along here, but I'm hoping to get maybe over in here somewhere so I can have some good views off. Sunday, my last day, I'm going to hike out and back down to my car. And like I say, I'm parked here, but I got to get over to here. So fixing to start this road walk, 2.7 miles on Highway 170. I had really wanted to hitchhike that part, but I've yet to see a car going west to east. I've seen 4 cars going east to west, and another one's coming, but so far not one car has come the other direction, the direction I need to go. So it looks like I'm going to be doing a road walk. So let's get it started. Well, I stopped here at the closed canyon trailhead parking lot. I've come 1.4 miles. One car has gone by me going east, and they didn't stop when I stuck my thumb out. I've had 2 cars and 1 motorcycle go by me going west, but it's 9:50 right now, so I started about 9:15. I left my house this morning at 4 in the morning, drove here, got to Lajitas about 7:30, hung around the Barton Warnick Visitor Center for 30 minutes till they opened, went in, and the whole process of getting my permit took about 15 minutes, so it was pretty easy. Should be a great trip, no rain in the forecast, and I hear the second car coming, going east, and of course I'm not anywhere near the road. There's a crew truck, they might have picked me up, who knows. Anyway, I'm gonna pack things up and finish this road walk, I hope, because so you're walking on asphalt, it's like 3 to 1. Every mile you do on asphalt's like 3 on the trail. It just hurts your knees. So ready to get that behind me and get started on the fun part of the trip. So where's your ultimate go?
I'm headed down to Chihuahua City.
Where'd you start from?
I started in Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yep, pretty good.
Are you posting anything anywhere?
No, it's just that stuff's just too much work.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm wiped out at the end of the day, and I'm.
So we're on the trail. Right there's the highway we just walked down. So we are pretty much backtracking. Okay, I'm coming up the East Rancherias trail. Been about a quarter mile from the trailhead. Yeah, there's the trail. I hadn't seen a rock cairn in a while, a couple hundred yards. Footprints here, so at least somebody's been here. And then I look up on the hillside there, and way up on the hill is a big stack of rocks. And then this was in the wash, a deer antler. I was looking for a shady place to have lunch. This may be my best bet. Let's see what time it is. It's only 11:15, so it's too early for lunch. But it's gonna be a little scramble to get up that. That wasn't bad. Trying to get hungry, but I told myself I'm going to wait till noon and then find the first good shady spot. But sometimes you regret passing up a shady spot because you may not ever find another one. I heard today was the hardest day. This is about 7 miles of this. I have all day to do it. Shouldn't be. There's no hurry. And I can camp anywhere I want, so. Just gonna try and take it slow and easy and not wear myself out. But the trail may have other plans. A big old cactus. I paddled my way up that, and again, looking up here, I don't see any more rock cairns, so I'm looking around, and there's one way up on top of the ridge here, so somewhere I missed the exit out of here. But it doesn't look like it's too far. I should be able to cut across and get back to it. Yeah, looks like the trail here. Yeah, I missed the exit out of there. That looks like a fence over there. Surely not. Yeah, that's got to be a fence. You gotta be desperate to want to fence that bad. So they ran sheep and cattle in here. Probably sheep more than anything. We were walking away from that canyon. I thought we were going to go up, but apparently we're not. You can see the creek down there, the wash. So we climbed up from there. Looks like we've reached kind of a high point for now. And now we're going to walk. We're walking pretty much east. You can see out there, there's somebody else hiking over there. I'm really surprised I'm going to see anybody out here. Oh, he's working. He's a ranger. Yeah, we're going to drop down into this canyon, down into a wash that volunteer ranger was telling me. So he's just cleaning up the trail, and apparently they cleaned all this up. He said, I'm fixing to hit some switchbacks right here. He said it was really overgrown, just all, you know, thorns. It was pretty tough to get down through it, but they cleaned it out. But he said there's another place farther up that's just as bad, and they haven't cleaned it yet. He also told me there's a really good campsite there at the Casara, which I had intended to go by, but now I'm thinking I'm going to stop there. That's where the water is, so I could have a campsite tonight near water, and then I won't have to carry as much out of there. Probably a better plan. And this is a lot. I mean, I knew this was tough, and I heard the first day was the toughest, but it's been pretty tough hiking. And you can see the trail right here. I mean, it's relentless. It's not letting up much. And then I'm going to drop all the way down into that wash down there and be walking in that again. So that stuff's just harder to walk in. A beautiful day and having a great time. I mean, this is a neat place. So I'm glad I'm here, that's for sure. Could be at work right now. Ew. Some serious switchbacks here. Some big old trees. Looks like water. There's water. Very little, but I'm not to the Rancherias Spring yet, so I don't know what this one is. There definitely was a little water there and some mud. That's why these trees are here. That's encouraging, because if there's water down here, surely there's even more up above. And we're coming up here in another 2 or 3 miles. We'll be at that Casara ranch house, and I couldn't find any information about it, and I even asked the ranger this morning about it, and she knew nothing about it. She didn't know what they were raising. She said they raised both cattle and sheep in here, but she didn't know what that particular ranch house was for, or who owned it, and when they stopped. But my thought is, if you look around this place, who comes here and says, this is where I want to live? Some tough people, yes. They're crazy. Deer, maybe? Well, you gotta love these little pockets of shade. It's 81 right now, which is, 8 or 9 degrees higher than the predicted high, but still a nice day. Got a little breeze. Not windy, but there is a breeze, and the breeze is nice and cool. That rock wall is kind of neat. It's got a top half is orange, and then below that is black or gray. Well, this is starting to look interesting. Well, I just jumped a covey of quail. If you've ever been 10 feet away from a bunch of quail taking off, it'll give you a heart attack. I think we ran out of the easy part of this wash. These rock scrambles have been coming a little more frequently. I don't know. Just got to go up here, I guess. It's about 2 o'clock. Stopped to take a break here in another shady spot. I've come 7.5 miles on the day, so 4.5 from the trailhead. So this has been as difficult as advertised. It's as hard as I thought it would be. It actually may be a little harder. I knew I was going to be walking up this wash. I guess I didn't anticipate all the boulder jumping you'd have to do to get up, little drops. So more jumping over boulders. Well, we've been scrambling over that for a long time and got to this point. This is what I think that volunteer told me there was a metal disc up here telling you when to leave the wash. Looks like we go this way. There we go. Right down there is where we left the creek and switch backing up this way. Like an aoudad trail. Right there is where the creek branched off, and instead of going that way we came up this way. But now we're going to go back and drop into that one. Great views. There's why we went around that, went up the creek that way instead of coming this way, because it definitely cliffs out right there, so we had to get around that. Well, I feel like we're on the right path. The creek we just came out of, way down there. At least it was a steady climb and not up and down like the creek was. Bunch of quartz in the trail here, just all along here. Some more down there. Trail kind of sparkles. Still climbing up. Nope. Still more to go. See the tall peaks back there in Mexico. We came over that, came around that, and down here, and been dropping from there. Still can't really tell what we're headed for. Just walking along. I did find the area of the trail that was overgrown. It was pleasant. But it's been one serious trail. And we're not done. Just looking back the way we came, we were down in the creek, in the wash, through all of that. I mean, there are times when I could not find another rock cairn, and I'd look up and there might be one on a hill, so I just aimed for it. This has been tough. And I mean, there's a stack of rocks right here, and I can see one right there, but I don't see another one beyond it. So, a little bit of a trail, and that guess we're going to go over this. Oh, there's one to the right. So, and trying not to get too far out of sight of the last one if I don't see the next one. I have a feeling the ranch house is just over this hill here. So right down there's the Casara house, and then those trees to the right are where the spring is. And then up on that flat to the right of those trees is, I believe, where that campsite is, he was saying. That's where I think we'll spend the night. Just got to figure out how to get down there. Doesn't look too easy. It's Casara. It's like the roof blew off some point. That's a red-tailed hawk, I believe, out there swooping around. He flew right over this house I'm at before I had the camera out. These adobe walls attest to the Reza family struggle for survival in a harsh and beautiful land. It says they settled here in 1907, raised goats, and also had dairy cattle, had peach trees, grew peaches, and red chilies, and they would sell them to the miners that live in this part of the world back then. A stove. this is a good break here. So we came down from way up there. I had to zigzag all the way down into the creek again and back up to here, and there's a spring down there. We're hoping not. It's going to be tough to get out of here on a liter of water that I have left, but should be water down there, so we should be good to go. I'm going to go down there and see if I can find it. A bunch of water coming out of there. I just can't get up in there to it, so. But it's all flowing this way. And once I get water, I'm going to try and battle my way up to that flat piece right there. I just don't know how to get out here. I'm hoping that trail goes through. And then coming down from up there, I could see those flat spaces over there that ranger was telling me about. So it should be some good camp spots up there. You can see that ranch house from down there. They're clearing out while they picked this spot, huh? Right here by this spring. Tough getting old. I was going to get just enough for tonight and then come filter more in the morning. But it's so hard to get down here to this. It's just surrounded by every type of cactus you can imagine. And now that I'm down here, I'm going to get as much as I can, and I don't have to fight my way back down here tomorrow. I feel pretty good since we saw water down below here, and then this spring is running so heavy. And they said in Madrid, or Rancherias Springs was running. So I don't think, I was worried about not having any water tomorrow, that I was going to have to carry enough out of here for 2 days. But I think we're okay. There's a door on that ranch house slamming. Kind of like somebody up there. Okay, I think this is that campsite that ranger was telling me about. And pretty big and roomy. It's on a slope there. But there's a little spot over here, probably big enough for my tent, that looks pretty flat. So this right here, it's going to be home for the night. Pretty nice view. Oh, but I'm so tired. All I want to do is, I'm going to sit down, drink a ton of water, watch the sun shade go up on the hill as the sun sets. So all right, well, I'm sitting in the chair. I'm probably going to drink this whole liter of water. I'm thirsty and exhausted. May have been one of my harder days on trail. That trail was no joke. I mean, it was just strenuous in every way. It was up and down, walking through a dry wash. But then you had to watch every step. There was not a section of trail where you could just look off into the distance and walk without worrying about tripping. So you had to watch your feet the whole time. And you had to be on the lookout for those cairns, especially this last probably mile and a half after I left that creek or the dry wash. The trail it went up and down, twisted turns just out of nowhere, and the trail's not so beat in that it doesn't look any different than the ground around it. And if you miss one of those cairns, I mean, there's no telling where you'd go, because it actually, like I said, it went up out of one drainage, crossed over into like a second drainage, and then crossed another ridge into a third drainage. So it wasn't like if you got off trail, you'd end up right here. I mean, you would have ended up on the other side of that, more than likely. And you know, eventually you might have made your way back to here, but God, that was tough. That was a tough day. Everything I've read about this said that's a tough day and don't underestimate it, and I guess I underestimated it. But they said the rest of the trip, you've got the hard part out of the way, so hopefully, I hope to make it out of here alive. But I'm going to sit here and rest for a little while. I didn't put my tent up, and that's usually the first thing I do. I was just too tired, so. The sun's already gone behind the hill. Oh, what time is it? It is 5:55. I've got about an hour of daylight left, so I'll probably get onto the tent here pretty quick, but get it set up, and then I'll probably cook dinner in the dark, because I'm not going to do anything in a hurry. I am tired. Good morning. The sun is just coming up over the mountain. I'm hoping it kind of dries things out. That tent does get a lot of condensation in it. I guess one of the drawbacks. Let me show it to you. It's a Lunar Solo one-person tent by Six Moons Designs, and it is a trekking pole tent. So occasionally I'll bump that during the night, and this will slide out. The tent comes down, but not too major. It does get a lot of condensation though, so that's still a bad thing. Got an Outdoor Vitals 15-degree bag, or quilt actually. And it got down to 40 last night, so this was really kind of overkill. I kept getting hot, having to lift it off. But my sleeping pad is a Sea to Summit sleeping pad. And like I say, I got it. It's going down now, but I got it because it's when it's inflated, it's 4 inches thick. And I thought, maybe that would help be more comfortable. And I usually sleep inside a liner bag, but then I got the idea, why don't I put the pad inside the liner bag? So I tried that last night. So it was just like sleeping on a sheet. And instead of laying on the direct plastic of that liner bag, or instead of laying on the plastic of this, he's laying on this silk liner sheet. So it actually was a lot more comfortable that way, instead of being inside it. And then this is a Trekology pillow, which, I don't know, none of these are great. This one's the best I've tried. But again, I slept pretty good. Just before I went to bed last night, you can't see it up this canyon here a little ways. I could hear some coyotes, and it sounded like they got into a fight. It was loud and sounded pretty rough there for a little while, but then I never heard them again. And then this morning, probably 5 o'clock, down in those trees, there was an owl hooting, and he went off every 15 to 30 seconds for 2 hours. He was hooting, so got to hear him this morning. But I'm not near as sore stiff as I thought I would be after yesterday. Again, that was tough. Again, that's the ridge we came down yesterday. Good shot of the trail. That's what the trail looks like. No trail. But I don't think I'm going to have to go back to the spring to get more water. I think I still got plenty. I'll probably leave here with about 4 liters. That'll be enough to get me through the day to the next spring. And if there's not any water at that next spring, I'm probably going to go ahead and hike out, and the 4 liters should get me through the whole day. If there's water at that next spring, then obviously I can get as much as I need. So, but I'm hoping the sun kind of dries out my tent and gets rid of the condensation, and then I'll pack up here in about 30 minutes and head on out. Alright, well, I'm getting ready to pack up my backpack, and just kind of sorted everything, threw everything down there so you could see it. But also I was sorting my lunches. I put anything I'm going to need during the day, during the hike. I like to put it in the top of my pack. So all my food is in that back green bag that I'm going to eat on trail. And then I've got sunscreen, lip balm, anything else I might need during the day in that other yellow sack. And then the orange sack is all electronics. Battery backups, extra batteries for cameras, stuff. My clothes, that'll all go in last. I've still got to sort the water out of this bladder into those 2 smart water bottles. I've got 4.5 liters left, and that's what I'm going to walk out of here with. I don't think I'm going to need to go back and filter any more water out of there. Anyway, I'm going to get this packed away, get all that put into there, and then I'm going to head out. Coming to our first trip into the wash on day 2. We got some rocks there so you don't miss the exit out coming the other way, but it looks like you should go across, but I don't see anything up there. But if you look way down the wash, there's some rocks stacked on another rock. So we're going to be in this wash for a little while anyway. And I don't know if we're going to turn left because there's a canyon going off left. I think we go straight out that gap you see in front of us. Well, I've come to another spot that it just doesn't look like trail to me, but I don't see any rock cairns up there. They've been putting them high on those rocks, so you would think they'd be there. I don't see any to the right or left either. That could be one right there, but I don't know, that looks kind of natural. I've been walking up this for a while, so I was watching my feet and wasn't paying attention where I was going, so I may have missed the turn out of here. I'm going to keep going a little further and see if I see anything. I don't want to do this twice though. I'll get up here and see if I can find something. I don't know, is that could be one there, possibly. I'm going to keep going up a little further. Hope the trail didn't go out to the right back there. Looks like a little shelf up there you might put a trail on. This is probably it. Trail marker would be nice though. Yep. I can see a rock cairn up on the right, way up there. I definitely missed the exit out of here. Now the question is, do we go back? Or keep going and hope the trail's got to come back to the wash, but they obviously routed around this for a reason. Whew. Yeah, crap. I guess I'll go back. Right. Head back down this for, I didn't go far, I don't think, maybe 100 yards, maybe 200 yards. Well, I came back a ways, but I still don't see any trail markers. I'm gonna try this a little ways and see. That looks horrible. Can't be it. If I go up, maybe I'll run into it. I think I see a rock cairn right through there. Ouch. Ooh, got me in the face. Yep, there's a rock cairn, there's a rock cairn. I definitely missed the exit out of the wash at some point, but hey, we made it. No idea where it left, but I walked a long way up the creek. Well, I believe this is the rock cairn that I saw from down in the creek. Let me know I was off trail. Good job, but yeah, I was standing down there in the shady part looking. There's a tiny pool of water right there in that rock. I wonder if they had rain this week, because you wouldn't think there'd be any water left standing out like that. And I can't say hiking on a trail above the creek is any easier than hiking up the creek, because one, it's climbing, and two, it's pretty overgrown, so you're constantly getting poked by something. Oh man. So here's a fence marking me into somebody's property. Well, that sign said at that Casara said that family said they raise sheep and or goats and cattle, but it said eventually large cattle operations bought all the land surrounding them and then forced them into a real small area. They couldn't just free range graze their livestock anymore, so apparently that's what put them out of business. So this may be the edge of their property, and this is where another company came in and fenced them in. Who knows? But you can see this fence. It goes up and then it goes all the way up to that cliff. And then you can see some more of those big trees here. I think that's Panther Spring. Supposedly it's not as reliable as the spring at the Casara, but it's 11 o'clock. I've been going an hour. I'm looking for a shady spot to take a break, but doesn't seem to be one in my near future. It'll be fun to get over this edge here and see what's on the other side. Here's an option. I got 3 options. right. I can go straight up the mountain. I can go left. There's a rock cairn there. Crap, it looks like you should go straight up. Surely there's a trail over here. On this really sketchy, sloping ledge, and there's not. I don't know, to the right may be the best option. Yeah, I think this is it. There we go. Third time's a charm. We're back in the wash, and I can see some markers down that way, but this rock here, what is that? There's barbed wire down inside that rock. I wonder how they did that and why. Hey, there's a cool little cave. This is cool. That's mud, I guess, gets pushed in here. The rock looks black. Maybe there's smoke. Some fires in there. Who knows? That's pretty cool. Alright, well, I stopped in here, took a little break, and I'm sure there was some Native American activity here at some point. No, I'm pretty sure this is a grinding stone, a metate or something. It looks like you could, anyway, you put your grain in there and grind it down. Trail's back down in the wash there. I'm fixing to get back down in there and start up. Looking at this, thinking I'm off trail again, but there's a stack of rocks on that rock way up there. So I'm guessing this is the trail. A bit of a climb. I'm assuming that's a trail marker up there. I hope so. Gosh, more water. Again, I do not see any rock cairns, so makes me think I'm off the trail. Mesa's supposed to have gone right back there. Go just a little further, double check. There's a rock cairn. We are on trail. Ooh, the fact that we're not in wall-to-wall canyon, I'm hoping that means we're getting close to the top of this. Be done with it shortly. I always thought I was never going to get here. Alright, Javelina camp up that way, but East Rancherias Trailhead. Boom, back there. I can't think of another trail that I've done that was as difficult as that trail. That was the hardest trail I've ever done. 5 after 12, so right at 12 o'clock. Looks like we're going to climb a little ways, and just right up here, I think in the first quarter mile or so, is the high point for the whole trip. So give me a little climbing. Then after that, it should either flatten out or it could be rolling after that, but this will be the high point. And I'm looking forward to some mileage where I can just kind of put it on cruise control and not have to worry about finding trail. One of these hills on Google Earth shows a stock tank on top of it. It may be that one, but I don't see it. There's no watering trough. Gosh, another covey of quail. So if that tank was on that hill, I mean, they could have piped it down to here. Maybe that tank's up here. Oh, there's a pipe coming out there. Yeah, this Jeep road's pretty tough too. There's broken pieces of Jeep all along here. Well, I can see the road going around and then up over that little saddle there. And no real good place to take a break, but maybe the best rock I found to sit on, so I think I will sit on it, have lunch, put on a long sleeve shirt, and take a few minutes rest anyway, and then get back at it. I don't see a sign. If you see on top of this mountain here, looks like there's an antenna or something up there. I guess we turn left here. I don't know where that goes, they got it blocked off. Fence right there. So there's that hill with the antennas on it. We've already come around it. Maybe the Park Service radios. I wonder if I have cell service here. No. No cell service. It's like maybe another mile of this Jeep road. Alright, well, the Rancheria Road keeps going this way. I guess this is the West Rancherias trail. No sign. I wish there was a sign. I'd feel a little more comfortable, but I'm pretty sure this is it. We'll know in a mile if we get to Rancherias Spring. Right, I'm at Rancherias Spring. And there is a little bit of water here, but not very much. Right up there in those rocks, there is some flowing water, but very little, just a trickle. None that I think you could get a water bottle in and get a water out. So, still got 2.5 liters, but I don't think I have enough to camp tonight. So I think this is going to force my hand to push all the way onto the car tonight. It's probably 7 miles from here, and it's 3 o'clock, so I have until probably 6:30 before it gets dark. This is another nice place down here, shady and cool. I just wish there would have been more water. I started to climb up. That's Rancherias Spring down there. It looks like a big one, but we're headed up. A different looking rock. We don't drop down in there, but that could be Gual Mesa in front of us, so we may do it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we're not going up that way. I bet we cut back across and go out that little saddle right there. That's a cool little box canyon up there. I wonder if that little cave up there, if there's ever anybody lived in it. But there's no water near here, so maybe not. And then this rock right here in front of us looks like Jabba the Hutt. And you wouldn't want to be here when those came down. And hopefully this is our last climb, but I thought that on the last one, so. I'm still working my way up this trail, the top of the mesa. I think I'm fixing to pop out into the sun. I thought I'd take one last break here in the shade. It's 4:30, probably 4 miles, 4.5 from here. So, making progress. Man, you look back, I couldn't even tell you where we came from. I think we came across this, down and then up this canyon and over to here. I'm pretty sure we didn't come that way, but yeah, this place would be easy to get lost in. Well, that's the mesa, Gual Mesa. It looks like we're going to have to drop a little bit and then climb back on it. And when we get on it, we have to cross it all the way across. And then we get to the other side, we'll drop off, and from there should be able to see the highway pretty close. And it was on that mesa that I planned on camping, but down to about 1 liter of water. It's pretty down there. That's a neat little hill there. You can see the stripes or the layers in the sides. But I gotta get the move on. But somewhere along here, we should be coming up on a trail junction pretty quick. And there's a campsite back up there. I don't know, I think it's on top. So I guess you would go up that little canyon there. But we should come to that intersection here pretty quick. I don't know if this means this is a trail junction or not. Not a sign. Oh, maybe. We came from this way. But it looks like there's a trail going up that way, up towards that canyon. So I think it's called the Gual 2 campsite. And it's on the Jeep road, so you can get to it from a Jeep. And then I guess if you wanted to hike back down this way, you could. Looks like we're headed out this way. Coming up to an Ocotillo forest. Oh, there's a bunch of them. They just keep going. And this is maybe the most Ocotillo I've ever seen in one place. Well, there's the front side of that hill, and if you can make it out, you know, to the right, kind of in the middle, those arches, looks like rocks have fallen and gotten hung up there. It's kind of a neat formation. We've got a little further to go to finish this mesa, and then I think when we start down, we still have 2 miles to go, so it's probably 3 miles from here. It's 5:40. Probably gonna be some hiking in the dark. I came across a little pipe here. Another look back at that rock formation. We're skirting the side of this canyon. When my plan, if I'd have spent the night, was to try to make it out and camp near that cliff face. I think you'd have a great view off of that. You can see not much sunlight left. It's fixing to set. Well, we just dropped off the edge of the mesa and we are starting down for real. And at some point we're going to go down here, and I think we go back around to the left. And we're dropping pretty quick. Still got quite a ways to go though. Well, this trail just has never let up. And we'll eventually connect with the Rancherias Canyon Trail. I don't know if you can see that car down on the road. Whew. Well, I'm at the junction with the Rancherias Canyon Trail. It goes off that way. We're going up this way. Well, I got off the trail somewhere and I missed the turn off to the parking lot. It's probably a quarter mile up here. Well, we made it. Gotta say, that was everything looks intact. Well, I'm back in the truck and got I'd admit that was more of an adventure than I had bargained for this weekend, but you know, glad I did it. Glad it's done though. I don't think I'll be back to do it again. And if I knew, you know, knew then what I knew now, I would have just gone ahead and camped on that mesa and not tried to come down in the dark. That was a nightmare. But I made it. Not only did I made it, but I ended up popping out on the road, not at the trailhead. So then I had to do another road hike just to get back to my truck. But I'm here now. It's 8:30. Say, yeah, this was a tough one, but it was fun. But I'm glad it's over.